Throughout most of human existence, wolves were seen as creatures of terror. Picture yourself alive 30,000 years ago. The sound of wolves howling in the night was a genuine threat. You were physically weak, painfully slow, and surrounded by predators capable of detecting your scent from great distances. Wolves moved in coordinated packs, armed with powerful jaws, extraordinary stamina, and night vision that far surpassed anything human eyes could manage. And yet, of all the creatures that shared the ancient world with us, it was wolves that became our most loyal companions. Not horses, not cattle, not even our closest primate relatives. Wolves. Today, more than 900 million dogs inhabit the earth. They curl up in our beds, protect our homes, sniff out explosives, manage livestock, pull people from avalanche debris, and wear tiny party hats next to birthday cakes. Yet none of this was ever designed. No ancient tribe gathered around a fire and agreed to engineer a cuddly fetch-playing companion. Dogs came into existence entirely by chance, and the most remarkable twist is that wolves may have begun taming themselves long before any human understood what was unfolding. To grasp how this occurred, you need to transport yourself back to the Ice Age. Roughly 20,000 to 40,000 years ago, humans lived as hunter-gatherers. Small groups of perhaps 20 to 50 individuals constantly on the move across vast territories in search of food. Existence was merciless. Most hunts ended in failure. Winter claimed lives regularly. A single broken bone could be a death sentence. And just beyond the glow of every human campfire, lurking at the boundary of the light, wolves watched and waited. Here's where it gets interesting. Humans are sloppy with food. Even in times of scarcity, hunter-gatherers left behind gnawed bones, scraps of meat, hides, and half-eaten carcasses. For a wolf, a human settlement was essentially a roving buffet of free calories. Initially, wolves probably edged toward camps with extreme caution. The bold ones crept nearer. The aggressive ones got killed with spears. The deeply fearful ones kept their distance and went hungry. But scattered within wolf populations were a handful of individuals wired differently. Less fearful, less combative, more willing to linger. Modern genetic research suggests certain wolves may simply have been born with a natural ease around humans. Generation after generation, those individuals fared better than their aggressive counterparts. Rather than risking serious injury chasing dangerous prey, they could trail behind humans and scavenge near the camp. Gradually, evolution began sorting wolves by temperament. The friendlier ones ate more. The calmer ones stayed closer. The fiercely aggressive ones perished. And eventually, those wolves began transforming physically as well. It sounds like something out of fiction, but scientists have actually witnessed this process play out in real life. In 1959, a Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev launched an experiment in Siberia using silver foxes. His goal was to unravel the mechanics of domestication. Each generation, he selected only the most docile foxes for breeding, nothing more. No training regimens, no teaching commands, simply the repeated selection of the least aggressive individuals. Within just a few decades, the foxes had begun acting like dogs. They wagged their tails, whimpered for human attention, and licked people's hands. But then something even more unexpected occurred. Their physical appearance transformed as well. Their ears grew floppy, their muzzles shortened, patches of white appeared in their fur, their tails curled upward, and this pointed to a broader pattern. When animals are bred for reduced aggression, their looks tend to change along with their behavior. Researchers observed that domesticated animals across numerous species independently develop softer facial features, reduced jaw size, irregular coat coloring, and drooping ears, almost as a package deal. The earliest proto-dogs may have begun looking less threatening long before humans made any deliberate breeding choices. Imagine being part of an Ice Age camp and noticing wolves nearby that appeared slightly smaller, noticeably calmer, and far less frightening than the wolves you feared. Not pets by any stretch, but no longer fully wild creatures either. And this transformation likely wasn't confined to a single location. Humans and wolves were probably forming parallel bonds across vast regions of the ancient world simultaneously. For millennia, this evolution unfolded quietly, with no human aware that they were witnessing history reshape itself beside the campfire. The advantages humans gained from this arrangement became apparent quickly. Wolves detect sounds long before human ears can register them. They can smell approaching predators from enormous distances. They track prey with a skill no human hunter could replicate. A wolf lingering near camp was essentially essentially a living, breathing early warning system. When a bear drew near, the wolves responded first. When unfamiliar figures appeared, the wolves took notice. When prey was within range, wolves could help locate it. Once both species began contributing to each other's survival, the bond deepened rapidly. This is precisely why the dog holds the distinction of being the first domesticated animal in human history, preceding sheep, goats, and agriculture itself. When farming eventually emerged, dogs adapted once again to remain at our side. As people shifted toward grain-heavy diets, dogs gradually developed a far greater ability to digest starch than wolves possessed. Consider the magnitude of that. These animals were living and evolving alongside us before the written word existed, before cities rose, before metal was shaped into tools, before the pyramids were conceived. And across those thousands of generations, humans and dogs began altering one another emotionally as well. When a person locks eyes with a dog, both release oxytocin, the same chemical central to the bond between a parent and child. Wolves do not naturally share this response with humans. Dogs do. Your Labrador gazing adoringly at you isn't exhibiting random behavior. Evolution literally sculpted dogs to forge emotional connections with the human mind. Dogs even developed facial expressions that humans instinctively find moving. Those legendary puppy dog eyes may have proliferated precisely because humans showed more care and affection toward dogs that appeared emotionally expressive. Some anthropologists argue that dogs elevated human hunting success so substantially that groups with dogs simply outlasted groups without them. Dogs may have played a genuine role in humanity's spread across the globe, but domestication came at a price. Dogs surrendered much of what defined wolves as wild animals. Countless modern breeds are plagued by serious health issues born from centuries of human-directed breeding. Pugs labor to breathe. Dachshunds frequently suffer spinal deterioration. Bulldogs sometimes cannot deliver their own puppies. Yet the wolf has never entirely vanished from inside them. When a dog circles before settling down to sleep, it may be echoing ancient wolves pressing down tall grass. When they howl, bury food, or twitch through dreams, instincts from a lost era are still breaking through. Inside every Chihuahua and every Husky, the silhouette of an Ice Age hunter still lingers. Perhaps that's what sets dogs apart from every other animal we've ever domesticated. Cats dwell near humans. Cattle endure humans. Horses labor alongside humans. But dogs chose to join humans. They slept pressed against us while predators prowled beyond the firelight. They crossed frozen wastelands at our side. They kept watch over sleeping camps through the night. They followed us into blizzards, across migrations, through wars, and onto entirely new continents. And somewhere in the long arc of all that shared experience, the relationship grew into something that transcended mere survival. In Germany, archaeologists uncovered a grave dating back roughly 14,000 years containing the remains of a man, a woman, and a dog laid carefully beside them. The dog had endured a grave illness during puppyhood, yet had lived on for weeks or months after, meaning humans had actively nursed it through its sickness. Sit with that for a moment. Ice Age humans, fighting to stay alive in one of history's most punishing environments, were nonetheless devoting scarce food, time, and effort to nursing a sick dog back to health. That is no longer just practicality, that is connection, companionship, perhaps even love. For thousands of generations, humans and dogs have shaped each other's fate. It all began because a handful of wolves grew slightly less frightened of human fires. No blueprint, no intention, no grand design, only scraps left near a flame. Cautious animals inching forward through the darkness, and evolution quietly converting fear into one of the most enduring partnerships our species has ever known. And tonight, your best friend will probably fall asleep somewhere close to you, completely unaware that this bond stretches back tens of thousands of years. But now you do.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There are many more fascinating stories, mysteries, and thought-provoking videos coming soon, and you won't want to miss them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.